Hi, my name is Jennifer Mullins. I'm the owner of Mullins Tutoring, and today I'm going to review congruent angles for parallel lines cut by a transversal. So parallel lines are two lines that never meet. The transversal is the line that cuts through the two parallel lines. So the red line is the transversal and the blue lines are parallel. We're going to talk about the relationships of the angles. And congruent just means that the angles are the same degrees or radians. So first thing we're going to talk about is alternate interior angles. Alternate interior are going to be the angles between the two parallel lines, and alternate will be on the opposite sides of the transversal. So angle D is congruent to angle F. And angle E is congruent to angle C. Now we're going to talk about alternate exterior angles. So those would be the angles on the outside, and it would be the alternate. So B is congruent to H, which means they're the same degrees. And A is congruent to G. The next angles we're going to talk about are corresponding angles. The corresponding angles are the angles, if I took this bottom parallel line and just brought it up along the transversal, it would correspond or be the same as the angle A. So we're going to do angle E is congruent to angle A. And angle F is congruent to angle B. Angle D would be congruent to angle H. And angle G would be congruent to angle C. Okay, so now we're going to look at vertical angles. And vertical angles meet at the vertices, which is this point right here. So the angle opposite is going to be congruent. So angle H is congruent to angle F. Angle E is congruent to angle G. Angle D is congruent to angle B. And angle A is congruent to angle C. So how does this help us knowing that information about congruent angles? All right, let's look at an example. Let's say that angle A is 40 degrees. Well, we know that vertical angles are congruent. So if A is 40 degrees, then angle C is 40 degrees. We also know that alternate interior angles are congruent. So if angle C is 40 degrees, angle E is 40 degrees. It also follows that definition of that corresponding angles are congruent. So if this is 40 degrees, this is 40 degrees. And angle E is congruent to G by definition of vertical angles. So this would also be 40 degrees. It also is 40 degrees by alternate exterior angles and corresponding angles. I hope this video was helpful in understanding the relationship to congruent angles.